6:30.
Come on, boy.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Wind Down Wednesday with Keisha, y'all. And tonight we're gonna be discussing a little bit about Cardi B and how women or why women are rejecting the 50-50 relationship model, because you don't see too much of that anymore. And sometimes I doubt that people really even know what the 50-50 model really means and what that looks like, right? So, of course, we always introduce some kind of new wine, new drink, or something like that. And tonight, I haven't been drinking in a couple of weeks, y'all, but I do have a nice detoxing drink that I made. It's something I always drink, and I like to drink this chill. It's water. I'm actually doing water after I have drank myself almost to death a couple of weeks ago. So I have water and I have a nice mint leaf and lemon in here, and it's really really smooth on the palate. So that's something you can try when you're trying to detox from drinking, because this is a wind down too. It's very refreshing. So I don't know if anyone else wants to tell a little bit about what they're drinking tonight to unwind with.
I have a nice little fresh cup of water, ice water.
So we just gonna jump on into y'all. See, I have people popping on in here for this great conversation we're gonna have tonight. It stems from what we were talking about last week, but I'm gonna let them tell you who they are and a little bit about themselves, whatever they want to say to you guys. So we're gonna start there, and I'm gonna start with the gentleman on the right of me, and we just gonna move down the circle. That would be you, Larry Senior. Larry Senior, Junior. I can't hear you. You on mute.
You on mute.
Oh, I am on mute. Oh, there we go. A little technical difficulty with my old age. Larry Calise was in the mortgage industry 20 years, semi-retired, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Just kind of help people market, do that type of thing. Just here, no professionalism at all. Just here with an opinion. And you know what they say about opinions. We all got one, and it ain't right or wrong. It's just an opinion. That's just me. Next, we got the beautiful lady to the right over here. Or left. If she's not the beautiful lady, we can go to the other beautiful lady down there at the bottom, Melody.
I'm not paying attention, y'all. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I am Master Coach True the Boss, behavior health professional, entrepreneur, empowerment coach. In Louisiana, of course. I founded Miracle Solutions and several other businesses. I also created the Boss model, building outstanding self-strength, which focuses on leadership, self-perception, and personal growth through counseling, consulting, and social media platforms. And I have a lot of other things that I do as well. So there you go.
Welcome.
All right, next.
It's me.
You can go or I can go. It doesn't matter.
Popped in front of me. Yeah, let Samantha go. She in front of me.
Well, I was before you.
Well, Melanie, go ahead.
Oh, I ain't even see. I ain't even look. She ain't have.
What y'all smoking all day?
No, her face wasn't on. I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that box right there.
Hey, Sam. I've been here before. I'm Nikki. I know it say Melanie, but I go by Nikki. 20 years, commercial lines insurance. I hear everybody been giving their bio. Nothing really unique about me other than a little outspoken. I'm one with God, but I also call myself a witch, so that might in spiritual work maybe a little different. But nothing major.
Nikki, I gotta follow you with that. I love a fellow witch.
Hello, baby.
So I'm just hopping on, but I've gathered from Nikki's. We're doing intros with minor bayous. Samantha Francois. I love to go by Dr. Sam, but also just Sam. Goodness, in terms of my work, I've worked primarily in academia as a researcher and a professor, studying adolescent development and structural as well as interpersonal factors that impact their well-being and promote their well-being. Currently, I work in philanthropy, funding criminal justice reform across the state of Louisiana. So happy to be here, and hopefully I have something to contribute to this topic, because I usually am not versed at all, let alone well-versed in whatever topic is hot right now. So that's me.
So,
It's my
all
turn
right,
now.
y'all. I'm actually communicating with Bryson, he's trying to get on. So I'm actually communicating with him. So if he's having problems with his computer, it's suggesting he calls me, y'all, so he can still hear and he can verbalize his opinion. Just in case he he wants to chime in on some stuff. I'm old, so I can only do one thing at a time. I gotta see and need to speak at one time. I can't do both. So,
Yeah.
is anyone in here? Oh,
I think I'm the last one. Next. I'm Justin, aka August Knight. That is my pen name. I'm a writer. Um, I've had a bunch of different careers. I played professional football in Canada. I was a school teacher at two different schools actually for a short time. I was a police officer with NOPD and Berkeley Police Department for a short while in California. I dedicate most of my life to writing now and telling stories, and hopefully I'll become the next Stephen King one day. But yeah, I'm here to debate. I ain't here to argue. I ain't here to just I have opinions, but I'm not here. I don't know if I'm making this word up. I'm not here to opinionate either. When we get into our topics, I like to bring up facts, data, statistics to help support whatever my premise is. And I was looking forward to today, specifically to one topic. So I can't wait till we get on that, and should be fun, entertaining.
yeah. Okay, so we had somebody else to pop on. You made it, huh, Bryson? So we're introducing ourselves. Sir.
I've been doing it off my phone, and I don't like that. So I was trying to get in off my computer. It's much easier, to see the screen and stuff off my computer. So, I mean, I have to introduce myself? I've been on here a few times. I'm quite sure, I'm Bryson Shelton, y'all. Hey, and I'm on the same type of time as a young man. I'm not here to argue or nothing. I'm just here to, I want to do facts and data already. And not feelings, right? I ain't trying to do feelings. I feel like no. I'm like, give me the facts. So that's it, y'all.
So I'm not by myself
tonight. We're gonna get into it for sure.
Hey, Samantha.
So people, I'm not here by myself.
Wait a minute, somebody like, uh-oh.
I bought the reggae with me. We are ready.
Hey, she got French fries. I want some of them French fries.
So Last
Look,
week,
I'm
y'all,
I'm old too. My dinner time is 6 o'clock.
I'll be nah. It is dinner time. So, but y'all, we started on a topic last week and trying to get into like we started talking about Cardi B and Stephon Diggs, and Larry and I were talking about it earlier. Man, this dude done got fired.
That's what I told him. So he did that. Let his ass go.
So
How you gonna pay his child support?
So I'm just curious, even more so as to, and I keep going round for this in my head, and I know y'all gonna say something about this. I feel Cardi B was the most valuable player in that relationship, right? And he basically fumbled her because she really didn't need him because she is actually the breadwinner here. She makes more money and is more monetarily valuable than what he is. So I'm just trying to figure out like, and then on another perspective, and I know y'all,
He was just something to do. He was just something to do, and she got pregnant. That's it.
well,
That's how I look at
I think he
it.
was a little bit more than
Oh,
something
she
to
got
do.
done. No, she got done.
Oh
It
yeah,
was because if you remember when she first came out with the dude, they was on a yacht with her, him, and some other broads when they first came out. So she already knew what type time he was on. If he out with you and got other broads with you, so of course, I feel like he was something to do, something to be entertained by. While she once she finally got over the bull crap with Offset, and she got knocked up. Because I was like, when I heard she got pregnant, I said, "Good, please." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but she like babies, she like family, so I feel like he gonna be an afterthought at the end of the day.
well, I guess so.
Long after
After
so
she
for a
finished
long time.
announcing
Every time
it,
she look at that baby.
but
What you
wait,
say?
after she finished announcing it across the world, how much of a just trifling person he is, but you already knew he
She
was
knew
like.
that.
So how you going around in your concerts and things talking about how nigga you ain't gonna never meet nobody like me? I don't want you to, and that's one of the things that I hate about Cardi B. Like, girl, I need you to heal on the inside and not on the outside. Everybody don't need to know your thoughts of the day. So, I mean, out of all the people that surrounding this young lady, it tells me a lot about her. She really does
Mhm.
not have a support system, people that she can actually look towards for some type of guidance that she's reactionary. That is very reactionary.
Yeah.
Get with
But
another
that's what makes her relatable to her fans. That's why, she's always has, been on the streaming and on what they used to do, Clubhouse and all those things where she's everything she was going through with Offset. She was very vocal. She's always been out there. And if you look at where she's coming from, just because she became a rap star and got all this money, it don't change who she was. She's still the person she was. And if you look where she come from is from the hood, a hood chick from the streets, and like the
I
rest of
do
them.
think
That's
but
what
wait,
makes her.
So
I
Huh?
I'm
will say this.
I'm
I
trying
mean,
to catch up
you can't
on
talk about you
the
can't say because she a hood chick, that should be her normal behavior. Because
But
I came
that's
from that's not
wait.
normal behavior.
I got a
Let
question
the
about
doctor catch up
the
here. You know,
next of
doctor
the
slow sometimes. Let
scenario.
the doctor catch up.
Um,
mhm.
so he had the kid he had with her was
His
his fourth
his fifth.
it in the same year.
Well, actually the fourth. And then while she was at Christmas, they was together. The other girl, I think the other girl had a baby or something like that, was a
Have
newborn
we
baby.
talked about that?
Well, we really know we didn't really get into that. We started talking about that last week. So let's get it so that we need to backtrack.
Because it sounds like he might have a problem.
He does have a
Yeah.
They
problem.
both
He
got problems.
definitely has a
Yeah.
problem. And I
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
he's a narcissist for number one. Let's start there. He has all
Oh
the
Lord, there go that
narcissistic
N word again.
behaviors that anyone can possess. So
And
let's
he's trying to have a lot of kids to make sure people believe he's not gay. They got those rumors too. So that happens.
Hmm.
I mean, it's out there.
Well,
It's
I
out there.
Wrinkle.
huh?
That's a
And that's
wrinkle.
no, that's that. You know, a lot of times, a lot guys like have a bunch of babies to prove their manhood because they're not being true to themselves outside of that. Plus, there's been rumors about that, you know, from people close to him. So it's a lot, but it's no different than if you're average day in the streets, in the neighborhood. Popular dude got a bunch of girls pregnant at the same time. Money don't change the mentality or the healing that's needed in either one of them.
But
And
let's
neither
go with the
and
healing
babies
part.
don't change the sexuality of the person either.
Exactly.
So just because he
Exactly.
out there making babies doesn't mean his sexuality is heterosexual.
Exactly. It happens a lot. I've seen it before.
So, fellas, what y'all got to say about it? Because
Hey,
that was a whole
Y'all go
lot.
first.
I mean, I think
Larry,
she was just a
Brian,
plaything.
what is it?
That's all it was. He another notch on his belt saying, I got me another one. That's all. And she happened to get pregnant. He unemployed, gonna be paying child support. I guess he ain't gonna be paying much. They make more money than him. So what are you gonna do? He's not gonna raise those children, which is a bad thing. I feel for the kids. They're not gonna be raised by a father.
Oh wow, they cut him.
They're gonna have 10 father figures by the time she finished because she's not healed. She gonna keep bringing one in and bring another one in and bring another one in and bring another one in.
Hope she finds somebody with some substance and help her get her mind together. Because
She
obviously
got
she
to get her
can't
own
get
mind
it done on
together.
her
Ain't nobody
own.
can help her. She got to get her own mind together.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right?
My computer decided to update itself in the middle of the situation, so I had to jump on my phone. I I feel like this children business, right? I thought about
Mm-hmm.
this all day, and I'm thinking to myself, right? If you 40 plus or whatever, and you don't see none of this as like some childish foolishness, then you're a part of the problem too, right? Because ain't nowhere in the world like nobody of any adult mind supposed to think anything is cool about somebody jumping out a relationship while married and getting pregnant for somebody else, right? That's just unacceptable, at least from my generation, right? Now I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it was hidden. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody was messing with Joe and married to Joe, then got pregnant for Bruce while they were still married with Joe, and then went publicizing it to the world, right? That was an embarrassing thing, right? So just the fact that it's like being perpetuated like that's good, girl, do you, blah, 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 is really a sign of the times that on the male and female side,
Mm-hmm.
integrity and morals are completely out the door, right? So I had to go do a little research, right? Because I'm like, man, Cardi B ain't number 33 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have a
Mm-hmm.
son that's 28 years old. So now that I did that kind of research, because I just was looking at it like, man, that's the more ratchet ass bullshit, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's a baby, right? Making
Mm-hmm.
baby decisions with big girl money. You know what I'm saying? She a
Mm-hmm.
baby with big girl money and
Mm-hmm.
like worldwide popularity. And we watching her life unfold
Mm-hmm.
social media in real time, right? That's sad to me, right?
Yeah.
And then the fact that I'm gonna just say this, I don't have a problem with the little girls perpetuating and saying, yeah, girl, blah, 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 blah. But when I hear women my age not say, man, that's some bullshit and blah, 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 now I'm looking at them sideways. You see what I'm saying, right? Because it just ain't right. It ain't morally right. What he was doing ain't right. But he a little boy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because women my age, when I was that age, if they look and they say, boy, you got a baby with Sue, you got a baby with Jane, and now you over here trying to talk to me, right? You better get out my face, right, 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 right.
Yeah.
But this day and age is different. So I'm just like, man, this is theater at its finest, social media at its finest, you
Mhm.
know. And we older people should just be looking from a distance, you know what I'm saying, man, I remember those days, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember being Stephon Diggs, not making all them babies though, right? But trying to
Mhm.
juggle 3 or 4 at a time because I thought I was a player.
Mhm.
And that was a big old headache. Thank the Lord, HIV came out around the same time I was hitting my peak. So I was scared to not strap up. You see what I'm saying? Right? Or I might have had some babies like these, but that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with you more on everything that you've said, and it makes more sense when you know the person's age and the way that she's acting. It makes a whole lot of sense because of the age brackets that she's in, why she's doing the things that she's doing, why she's
Mhm.
reacting the way she's reacting because of her age. It doesn't matter how much money you have at the end of the day, because of the way she's acting, it makes a whole bunch of sense. So it's not necessary. It is necessarily where she come from as well, but all of that plays a factor in everything that's going on with her.
Yep.
And then y'all have to recognize too, and I'm not being judgmental on on Carter's behalf, but she was a stripper. Like she basically grew up where she took care of herself, she took care of her
Ever
siblings. So
since.
she's always had that hustle mentality about her. So, I'm thinking for her, everything is always a transaction with her. She is having these transactional relationships, and
Mhm.
this is what is the end result of it. Like you're
I
bearing
think
kids
she
out of.
I think she loved Offset. She took that Negro back several times, stayed with him after him cheating habitually. So I don't think that was transactional. It may have started off that way, but she was set to have her family with him, but he just kept cheating. Like he kept making her look like,
But
damn,
hold
he
on, let me get off of this
cheating.
because I got something to say about that.
Yeah, he kept cheating, came back, made all these public gestures and all that stuff, and still doing it. So I think she actually loved him and wanted her family with him.
I got something to say about that, right?
Hmm.
Because we gonna stop this sooner or later. One day in history between men and women, we gonna stop this foolishness, right? You knew what he was. He had been showing that forever. So I don't understand why women always seem to think that I'm the woman that's gonna stop him from being that. You see what I'm saying, right? He was being that
Yeah.
the whole time before she met him, right? During the time that she was dating him. So when he continued the behavior, why is it so strange? You know what I'm saying? That he's in that behavior. He also a young man coming from the hood that
Yeah.
got a whole bunch of money. You can't go nowhere, and people trying to get at you. So I blame her just as much as I blame him. He was being a trifling
You
young
blame
man,
her
but
for
she
what?
thought she could change that trifling.
But you blame her for
Say it
what?
again.
You blame her for what?
For
Action.
going with that move,
For being
for
with
picking
him?
him,
For being
right?
with him.
For
Okay.
picking him. Like
You
no, you
blame
don't
her
pick
for
that.
being with him.
You don't pick
Okay.
that. You
I
don't
I
don't
pick
don't
that,
I
think
man.
don't
You
I
don't
don't
pick
I
that,
don't
man. We know what
agree.
Offset is doing prior to. Come on
I
now.
don't agree with that because my thing is if it's levels to relationships. And if you know you're not prepared or ready for that, then you don't one get married because I didn't know much about Offset until he was with her. Really, I know he was with the Migos and made his music, but details of his life, I didn't learn that until they were together. So, and as much as I knew, I didn't. I couldn't even tell you who
So
he
you
ever
speaking
dated.
out of term then. You speaking
How?
out of term then, because you only know him from after he was with her. I'm telling
But
you,
that's what I'm
I
talking
listened to the
about. I'm
Migos
talking.
music. They were with Drake. Everything was about we partying, we fucking buku women. You know what I'm saying? Like this
Yeah,
our
that's
life. And then
okay.
you
That's
meet him and
music.
try to make him your man. The same
That's
thing she did
music.
with Diggs just now. She did the same thing with Diggs. You know what I'm saying? You come out
She
of a
did what?
relationship, you try to make him your man. Like that's repetitive behavior that's rooted in self-esteem issues, if you ask me. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
on all of the parties part, but how am I out of turn? We're literally talking about Cardi B,
Because I'm saying
and
because you called in Offset a certain term, like
what
she
term
was
did I
like this
say? I said
pillar
he
of a
was
lady
cheating.
and got with this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we gonna call it what it was. They was both young, wild, and free,
But
right? Doing ratchet,
she
young, wild,
wasn't
and
cheating
free
on
people
him.
stuff, and they both got
She wasn't cheating on him. He was cheating on her, and then came back to her publicly, vowing to be with her, and then chose to turn around and cheat some more. So that's not her fault for following her heart emotionally, trying to keep her family together and
Can I
choosing to
interject
stay.
for a second,
Was
please?
that attachment or love?
But I was
It
about
could
to
be
that
say
sound like
that's
a
both.
not
trauma
love.
bond. Ain't that
That's
a
a
word y'all
trauma
It,
like?
it,
bond.
it could be both.
Trauma bond.
It
That what
is
that
a
sound like, a trauma bond.
it sounds like some anxious attachment disorder and a trauma
Yeah,
bond, all that mixed together. But the
it
thing
could
is,
be.
she you have sometimes and I'm gonna say this because I've been in a relationship. I've always had whorish men in my life. And I always make the wrong choices when it comes to men, and sometimes and see people, and I understand Carter a little bit because sometimes when you don't get the love, the nourishment that you should get from your family foundation, especially if you don't have a father figure in your home and somebody
Hmm.
to give you and love you the way you're supposed to be loved, you spend a lifetime looking for love, and every time you with a man and that man gives you that high, it's just like a crackhead. You looking for you looking for that sensation of love every time you go in. But the thing
Hmm.
is, if you already know a man, and I always have been attracted to these street men, right? So street men are known for being ladies' men. So I already knowingly going into this situation that I'm dealing with a man that has been dealing with multiple women. So I'm not saying he gonna change for me, but the feeling that he gives me when I'm with him, I love that feeling that he gives me when I get him because he's giving me that crackhead high every time I'm with him because that's what my nervous system desires at the time because of my trauma and
Hmm.
everything fucked up that's ever happened in my life. So I have to hold myself accountable. I can't say
Hmm.
that because he's a cheater that I'm giving him my love and all this, and he should love me back. Nobody. And when I say nobody, nobody owes you nothing, not even their love, not their heart, not anything. Nobody owes you anything in life. So to have the expectation of somebody to love you just because you loving him is ludicrous. And that goes for both sides because that's a fantasy speaking. You're in love with the idea of being in love. You're in love with the idea of having a family unit. We see this shit on television where they like we watch the Huxtables. Babe, I want me a Huxtable family.
Wow.
And I and
I
I
do feel people owe each other things.
I
I
was
do
just
feel that.
earlier. I stayed with my daughter's father for as long as I did because I wanted us to be a family. So
Hmm.
I tried to work around the shit that he did until I couldn't
Hmm.
work around it anymore. Now, was I accountable for that, or was he responsible for me inflicting myself into that situation? I have to take accountability. That's just like Cardi B has
Exactly.
to take accountability for her actions in that relationship because she allowed these things to happen to her. So
And I agree.
therefore, meaning before she go out and find another superstar, basketball player, or anybody, she needs to do the work on her to build herself
Hmm.
up to say, you know what, I am the shit. And they're gonna either respect me or they're gonna get out my face. And until you get to that point as a woman and stand on business for yourself, you're gonna constantly run across men and
Hmm.
be receptive to men that walk all over you just because you are in the need of wanting somebody or having to belong to somebody for that mere high feeling of love.
I believe we do owe each other things, though.
I
I
want to
do
hear the
believe
young
that.
man perspective since we in his age bracket. What's yeah, can you give us your perspective, young man? Since we in your age bracket with this.
Yeah. That's why for the last 30 minutes I've been sitting back, listening, taking it all in. So like I said, I've been waiting a whole week for this because from personal experience, having been a professional athlete, wasn't the NFL, I was in Canada, but I still kind of lived that lifestyle for a little bit. Playing a college football player, all that. And me just I studied psychology in college to see how the human brain worked with babies, relationships, all this stuff. So this whole discussion for me, I couldn't wait. So, but like I said, I don't like to just start talking out of my ass. I go do research, I go do studies, and I got this notebook right here for y'all because I got ADHD and I want to keep on track with this.
I'm ready, dog.
I want to stay on topic, but I'm gonna also do that while engaging with y'all, so it's not just me talking. So, like I stated earlier, I like to use facts, data, study, but also the last 2 times I've been on this show, I love analogies because analogies take that personal bias away and it puts you in another world or in somebody else's shoes, and you think like that instead of, oh, me in this situation, right? So that's what I'm gonna do for as I explain, my thoughts on this particular topic. But my point that I'm trying to make, because I think everything, when you talking, whatever you just said needs to lead to whatever end it was. So if I'm driving, I'm getting to a destination. It ain't just to go put the top down, let the wind blow on my face. So my look, I put my objective down right here. I want to show that women, because we touched on this last week, we talked about not settling for less. That's like the main, that's what all these women saying that, oh, I don't want to settle for less. I don't want to settle for less. You ask a woman why they single. Oh, I'm not settling for less. Okay, well, settling for less, they're settling for less while still overlooking the warning signs and the red flags and the men that they consider more, right? So I'm saying that to say, like, when are we, like, when are we gonna live in reality, right? So I got these 4 questions. I'm stick to the one right now because I'm Stefan Diggs. So I ain't gonna ask myself, but when I ask y'all these questions, just do me a favor so we could stick to the point and stick on topic. It's yes or no. They ain't personal questions. It's a question you go ask a stranger off the street and they'll ask you without you diving deep into their personal life. All right. So it's 4 questions. I just need a yes or a no with no further explanation. All right. For each woman, y'all gonna answer it, and then I'm gonna continue on. So here go the first question. If you had $1 trillion, you had to go buy a car. Would you buy a brand new car of the same make and model or a used car of the same make and model? Go ahead. For each of the women, just give me yes or no.
I'm buying a
That's
brand
not
new
a yes or no question. So are we choosing one or the other?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
would
are
you buy a brand new car? Well, yeah, you're right. Would you buy it? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. The way I worded it could have been yes, no, but yeah, would you buy the brand new car or the used car?
Well, I want a classic car, so it's
If you had
kind
$1
of
trillion,
have to be used. I want like a classic car that they don't make
brand
no
new
more.
car.
So it's gonna be
Okay,
used.
okay, hold on, real quick.
Used.
Okay. So you would buy a used one. Okay, you want if you had $1 trillion, so you can't buy. So you're saying you don't want a classic car that is brand new, but you're trying to get the closest to it, right? Do you want a classic car that 30 or 40 people been in, or you just want a classic car?
I don't care how many people
Just
been
in general, you don't know.
I want the classic car.
Okay, you don't care how many people. Okay, the next person.
Who is that? I want a brand new car.
You want a brand new car? Okay, got that. Next person.
I'll get a new one.
Huh?
A
You
new
want a
one.
new one? I think we got one more. Okay, so we got two news. One want a classic. One a classic one. She don't care who been in it.
I
Oh,
think
we
two
missing
off
we
right
missing
now.
somebody because I think only
I think
two.
two off.
No, it's only one
Oh, it's
more.
only two on.
I'll take a new one. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll take a new one. It depends on the type of car it is. Like I'm with Dr. Sam. It depends on the type of car. So what I'm looking
Okay,
for.
it's the same make and model.
But for your analogy, I understand where you're going with it. So I'm gonna say new.
Okay, cool. We got it. Next question. If you had $1 trillion, so money's not it. With the point, reason why I keep saying trillions, because money is not an issue whatsoever. You need to book an Uber from point A to B. Would you rather book a solo trip or a trip with 4 strangers?
Solo.
Uber got the one where you can share a ride.
I'm booking a solo trip
Okay, we got
with my
solo.
current income. I don't want to ride with nobody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So we got all solo, correct? We got all solo. Okay. Third question, real quick. $1 trillion. Would you rather pay a monthly subscription to watch movies on Netflix or Tubi?
Netflix.
Netflix.
I don't know which one is better.
Tubi is much more fun.
Yeah, I don't know which one is better, so it doesn't matter.
Someone wants to know.
I'm gonna have to pass on that one because I don't know which one is better.
Tubi is much more fun.
Okay, see, I don't know.
Okay, so somebody said, I'm glad you worded that. So somebody said, Tubi fun. So we got two Netflix, we got one pass on the question, and one said Tubi for fun. Okay, this is the last question to wrap all that up. Do you think that you apply any of the logic y'all just used to answer the questions I just asked in like your dating life? Yes or no?
Wait, what was the question?
Okay. Do you think?
No.
Yeah. Do you think you apply any of the logic you just used to answer those questions I just asked in your dating life?
Yeah, I don't want no broke down, used up man.
But do you apply it?
Listen, I don't mean to interject, young man. I don't mean to interject. But at our age, everybody broke down and used up. You know what I'm saying? So like,
nobody fresh and new.
Well, I believe if you're celibate for over 3 years, you're a virgin again.
Celibacy.
I'm about to change your name on my phone to Delulu.
I am celibate. I know somebody use that word all the time, boy. They had sex and I don't know how long. If it did, y'all don't know. She just waiting on you.
Okay, so y'all see what y'all.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Y'all see. Nah, y'all good. Y'all see where I'm going. Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? Okay. I'm gonna skip all the data and stuff like that. I'm gonna throw that in while we talking because I done already been talking for time. I just wanted to ask y'all those questions to see if y'all apply that logical reasoning that y'all just did to answer those questions to y'all dating life. Because from what I've been seeing on social media and just in life, women and men don't apply that. But women are way less careful and cautious if they are applying that. Like, I look at Cardi B with the Stefan Diggs situation, and I think somebody had said it earlier, like, well, all the signs was there. And I like to like tell women, like, yo, look at men as like a movie in a way. And like, would you go buy a ticket to a movie? Would you go buy a ticket to a rated R movie when you expecting like a PG outcome? You know what I'm saying? Like the signs was there. So when you talk about who are to blame, yes, the only thing I can blame Stefan for is not wrapping up, bro. Like, what is you like? You already got enough kids, but he is who he is. I can't blame a shark for being a shark, but I could blame the diver for swimming in those waters when the science clearly says this motherfucker will eat you alive. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, Cardi B, I feel like she showed up. Let me stick back to my movie analogy because that men are like movies. I feel like Cardi B showed up to this movie that every woman and her daughter wanted to see, the Stefan Diggs rated R movie, not knowing like that theater was gonna be full, or the seats that was open, some people probably went to the bathroom and got their popcorn and their concessions. She didn't know they was coming back. People who already been in those seats, I feel like she showed up without like buying no ticket and just expecting to get the best seat in the house because she was Cardi B. Because all y'all keep saying, oh, she the breadwinner, she more popular, she this. As you could see in real time, none of that mattered at the end of the day. Because he had one baby mama, because this is another thing y'all don't understand. Y'all people saying, well, she broke up with him because he cheated. That is not true. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That is not true. Offset was cheating, and she didn't mind it. She didn't mind it. What she minded was he was being disrespectful with it. He was putting that shit all out in the public. He was sleeping with her friends. So why would I believe that she broke up with Stefan Diggs for the same reason? No. That's not why she broke up with him. She broke up with him. The last straw was at the Super Bowl that she spent $1 million on for this party. And come to find out, one of his other baby mamas was front row seats at the game with his mama. When I heard she was sitting with the mama, you done for, Cardi. Because that's his mama that she's sitting. That means that's her favorite one. There's and the red flag is when she first got with this dude, when all the signs was there, it was the women saying, girl, go have your fun, go do this every single one, or you Cardi B what you want. It was actually the men that was like, yo, do not, I repeat, do not fuck with this dude. Because his own teammates, they did a survey with his teammates. They went around the locker room and asked 80 dudes out of all the members on your team, who would you not want to date your sister? Every single one said Stefan Diggs. She knew all that. So somebody said, oh, he was just something to do. He was just something to do. Yeah, he was just something to do. But look how that ended. You got a baby, because having a baby is just not something to do. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That just ain't something to do. Now you got a life that's disrupted because you wanted something to do. I have no problem with you wanting to go have your fun. But she didn't. It was more than fun. Women try to move like men. You cannot move like a man. You just can't. You go get hurt. You go end up getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I have to put the blame on her for this one. Just as like I would put the blame.
He definitely was something to do. There's no way she thought she was going to have a real relationship with this guy. If she didn't think, no way. It's no.
Okay, you saying there's no way?
You're absolutely right, because she thought she was going to be the one to win him. That's what that was. She thought she was going to be the one. How you pregnant with multiple other women? Come on now. My thing is, when
who she was, that was gonna make the difference.
Exactly.
Any of us, male or female, the heart love who the heart loves.
Okay.
Exactly. That's why I said she has to be different. It's no way she thought that was going to be something serious.
We all can't speak at the same time.
You know how we could say that? We could say, I'm sorry. We could say that there's no way that she believed that. That's us speaking from emotion, because I feel like that's what we want to feel. But the evidence and how she moved shows exactly. If she was just doing Stefan Diggs for fun, it wouldn't have been public. She wouldn't have been at the games making her face be seen. She was moving like, hey, this my man. I want the world to know.
She was
competing.
You're not doing interviews.
She was competing at the time. Everything she was doing was competing. She was competing. That's why she was out publicly saying.
Why would she compete? She was competing for what? What was she competing for?
To get that head title that she thought she was gonna get from that dog ass nigga. Because he was a dog ass nigga from the jump. That's the reality.
The title of what? The title of what?
That's why we always go bumping heads.
The chosen one.
Called to be a dog ass hoe. But I would never get on the internet on this thing and say that. You see what I'm
But
saying?
if you feel
You
it,
just did
if
that.
you feel it,
If
say
you
it.
pregnant for another man and
You
you
just
get
did
pregnant for
that.
another, if you married
You
to a
say
man
it.
and get pregnant for another man, you're a dog ass hoe. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
I
See,
wanna,
see,
I wanna,
you know what I'm saying?
I wanna
Like,
both
no, man. You know what I'm
amplify,
saying? You're a
amplify
hoe.
and piggyback on what
I
this young
agree.
man said a moment ago about women trying to move like men.
Men.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When we try to move like men, because I am a woman, I identify as the woman, I have the biology of I'm all woman.
Mm-hmm.
Fail every time.
Exactly.
Because
Be
the
who you
structure
are.
is not, has the structures, and you can interpret that widely.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual, religious, economic, cultural, all of them are not set up for us to have success moving like men.
Exactly.
Full stop. Not that we shouldn't pursue equality, equity, and we should.
That's
And,
something
and we can
different.
talk about the nuances and the specifics of that, but that
Mm-hmm.
shit hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
So when we try to move like men,
Mm-hmm.
we are not going to be on the winning side of that. And so, like, this conversation just started with, and it keeps swinging back to where Cardi messed up, where she failed. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that's wrong. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that just is, because women, we have a particular position in this society. Particularly when it
Unfortunately.
comes with our, yes, particularly, and it is, I agree, Nikki, particularly when it comes to our relationships with men, intimate and romantic relationships with men. Should that be shifted and changed? Should we be doing the work to do that? Yes. Are we
Mm-hmm.
there yet? No.
Nope.
And that's why, yes. And I don't know all the specifics, and I always want to make room for, like, we don't know all the story. We don't know all the details. But yes, maybe Cardi B is a dog asshole too. Right?
There you go.
Maybe Stephon Diggs is a dog ass bro.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't want
he
to say
is.
the N word.
He is. He is.
He
But we
is.
know
Right?
that. Yeah, that's evident.
But
Yeah, that
Cardi,
I mean that.
because she's the woman in it, is going to get a lot more grief. She's going
More
to get a lot
backlash.
more responsibility put on her for the misstep. You chose wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have, whatever,
Yep.
because of that just inequality and inequity that's built in. And I'm not, and that, yes, I'm saying that is full stop.
Mm-hmm.
We have opportunity, and I do think we have a obligation in another number of areas to
Mm-hmm.
shift that, or to think about it critically at least. But
The irony in all this is women like those type of dudes.
that's a part of it.
The flashiness, the
That's
arrogance
a part
of
of
it
it.
all.
I
Like,
never
how
seen 2 or
dare
3
you?
women fighting over a loyal man.
So
There you go.
You
He's
won't see him
loyal.
fighting over a lawyer,
you
man,
can't
because
fight
he's
over a
loyal.
lawyer.
That's the
right,
main
right,
issue.
because he not,
Statistically
Loyal.
speaking,
he ain't
well,
dealing with
mathematically speaking,
nobody
that
else.
can't.
But see, the thing
That
about it is,
part.
in that part, you have
But
two parts to that.
that's the
A
point I'm trying to make.
loyal.
I never seen 2 or 3 women fighting over a loyal man.
Let me tell you
It's
about that,
that part.
because you have two words.
So
You have two real words in that: loyal and man. The other people,
Yeah.
the other things that you're looking at are not men. They're not
Mm-hmm.
real men. Let's talk about that. They're not real men.
Yeah.
And the women that's going behind these men, should I say the not real men, are not really women.
Yeah.
They're not women. So that's why you're getting the backlash. That's why you're getting the fighting. That's why you're getting 2 and 3 women, 2 and 3 men. That's why you're getting all of these things at one. Hey, at one time. Because they're not real women, real men. And at the end of the day, that shit gonna continue a cycle.
Yeah.
Is that cycle going to continue? And that's why we have this going on, and that's why people think it's okay when it's not. And for the loyal and real ones, men and women, you get messed over. You get
Corey
messed
got any
over.
young men? She got any boys? She got any sons?
Yeah, she has a son. She has two.
Yeah.
So how those sons gonna turn out now?
What you
What
mean
type
now?
of men they gonna? What type of men they gonna be?
I mean, listen, I can't go along with that because I know a lot of great men that born from tough situations, right?
Right.
So
I do
we
too
Yeah.
don't
as
know what
well.
the
I do
we
too
don't
as
Yeah.
know
well.
what the
But she's
outcome gonna
raising
be.
them to be
But
what?
I think to myself, social media at this point is forever, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think stuff I put out into this realm, my son's gonna see somewhere down the line. It might stumble across them. So that means I have to be careful of how I
Yeah,
maneuver
put a
in
sauce,
this
man.
realm, right? And that's the only problem I had with any of this. The young man said it, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
move in private, right? If her and
Mm-hmm.
Stephon was just having fun, right? You a married woman. I don't care. And my viewpoints are messed up, right? Because I was married, I separated from my wife, and for the next 5 years before we got a divorce, I made it my business not to be seen or go public with nobody I was dealing with, right? Out of respect. You see
But
what I'm
that was
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
that what you were
So
supposed to do.
Yeah.
That
my
is what you're
mind
supposed to
tells
do.
me
That's
that
what
if
men do.
a woman is definitely supposed to move like that, right? And I know that
Mm-hmm.
might sound male chauvinistic, right? But I just feel like, man, you somebody mama. You know what I'm saying, right? I know I'm a daddy, but at the same, listen, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. When I first separated from my wife, I started dating, and one of my sons was living with me, and he was like 19 at the time. So I'm dating certain women, and he'll come. He wasn't living with me. He might come for the weekend. So one of the ladies might want to come over for the weekend. I say, you can't come because my son over here, right? And they'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, well, why? He's 19, right? And I'm like, yeah, but you're not my girl, and I don't want him to think that it's all right to
That's
be
correct.
messing with multiple people or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
while he's over here, you cannot come over here and get upset. I can't believe you, da 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 da. And it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you, but the way my child views me is way more important to me than the way
Correct.
you view
Correct.
me.
Correct.
And what I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
teach you as a man is way more important than me hurting your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I'm not trying to sound that way, but I know I'm different in those aspects. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
might be a little bit overly critical in the way I look at things, right? When it comes to male and female, because I carry myself somewhat like, I don't want to say the next part, but I carry myself in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So that's
You can't. All you have to do is say that you carry yourself as a real man.
all right. We'll say that. You know what I'm
And
And
saying?
very
because
few.
I mean, be honest. Think about it. A man is going to protect. A man protects. Point blank. He protects a woman physically and emotionally. If a man don't do that, then he's not a real man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Woman, vice versa. She's going to
Mm-hmm.
be submissive, but not submissive enough to
Mm-mm.
submit her whole self where she's gone. But she's going to be submissive.
I don't think
What?
being a real man is
So everything,
synonymous to what I am to a woman I'm dating,
everything y'all
right?
saying
Like I
was
think being a real man has nothing to do with a woman at all. You know what
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
saying?
no.
I don't
You
think being a real
missing.
woman has anything to do with submitting.
No. Y'all missing a point because I'm about to go to this
All right,
50-50
I'm
on
all
y'all.
right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
we got,
being
I was
quick.
about to, I
I'm-
just was about to say we got to get into the 50-50 because all that we leading into that. Go ahead, Chu.
all right.
So okay, so yeah, because I was going into the 50-50 for y'all.
All
So
right, go ahead. Take
basically,
us to the 50-50 there. This is a
all
good
right. So
segue
basically,
point. Go ahead.
all right. So what I was saying about. All right. So what I was saying about a woman submits to her man, but not wholeheartedly. What she don't recognize who she is, right? But she submits. She's the person that's the second in command, right?
No.
What I was about to say, and with the 50-50 is 100% of all, right? But people don't understand what that 100% brings. That 100% brings 50, I'm gonna bring 50 to the table. You're gonna bring 50 to the table, and it's not about financials. It's not about financials.
Oh.
It's about who you are as an individual, what y'all can bring to the table as a couple. Meaning, if I'm drained, you're drained. I mean, if I'm drained and I got 50% and I don't have it today, you're gonna pick up wherever I left off at. Baby, I don't have it today. Y'all come to the table, y'all communicate. Y'all following me? Am I able to stop?
So why the woman has to be second though?
Well, not second. Y'all together, baby. Y'all. I'm saying second in command by God.
I don't agree.
Why you don't agree? I mean, y'all together.
God,
Y'all gonna all make the decisions.
I feel because I believe in God, but I don't believe the fairy tale of the Bible. So I don't believe that a man comes first. I believe actually a woman does. A man is supposed to protect. That's how, that's my opinion on the subject matter. I don't believe the man is first.
Okay, that's fine. But guess what? God made Adam first. So that means
no, that's a story. First. That's a story.
And okay, and you're absolutely right. I'm not gonna argue with you because
we're not gonna argue about the Bible and what your religious beliefs are and all of that. We going.
But if you're making that statement about man first, that goes into that.
And I understand, but everybody knows that story. Okay, but everybody knows that particular story.
That's point, but who leads in the ways?
God.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, I got you on that.
So we'll take religion out this. Take religion out this.
Yeah, we
go religion away.
All right, yeah,
because we can come back and have a debate about religion, and
no, we're not.
That's too.
No, we're not.
That hit too. Yeah, that's what I said. That's gonna hit too home to some people. That's gonna hit too home.
Conversations is knowledge. Conversations is knowledge. All things about learning and it's not about always agreeing. It's exploring, researching, and learning more. So that's just purpose.
Okay, so 50-50 aspect. Let's go back to the 50-50.
Yeah, because
all right, so like I was saying, I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all together.
That's not going to the belief.
Y'all make y'all decisions together at all times. Come to the table. Make sure that y'all always communicating, never stonewalling. Table things that needs to be tabled at the time of an argument and come back to the table and re-talk about them. At that time, 50-50 means if I don't have 50% to pour into the cup, it's just up to the next person to basically pick it up. That's all I was saying. If I have 10% to give to you today, then you pick up the other 40. If I have 50% to give to you today, then I have 50%. But I'm going to bring it to the table at that time, and my energy is down, whatever it is. I'm going to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from. I'm going to make sure that he understands. I understand where he's coming from, and we're going to move together as a couple. Not you taking all the responsibility of this. I'm taking all the responsibility of that. That's not how a relationship should work. On my behalf, I think everybody should come in and just bring to the table what they have and make sure that the understanding is always there. That's me.
In a perfect world,
it should look like. That's perfect.
You said that perfect in a perfect world.
It's not a perfect world when you set boundaries in the beginning of your relationship. Boundaries do change as you progress in your relationships. They do. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to always come to that table. I don't care if you come into the table on a weekly basis. I don't care if you come into the table on a monthly basis. However that table look, you need to make sure that you're always meeting at that table.
The other gentleman on here, right?
Yeah.
I heard you say last time you had been married for a long time, right?
Yeah, 23 and a half years.
All right. So I was in a 24-year relationship. I'm 51 and I was in a 24-year relationship, right? So I don't never remember this kind of stuff coming up within that relationship. We just loved each other and things did what it did. You know what I'm saying? So this conversation now is kind of foreign to me because it's like, guess what? I got home from work, and when I came home from work, right, I helped the children with the homework and I thawed the food out, right? When she got home from work, she cooked the food. You see what I'm saying? The next morning when we woke up, she left for work before I went to work. So I made sure the kids got on the school bus. It was never a debate about none of that, right?
But you just did exactly what I was explaining.
And I know. And because of the biblical way I was taught, growing up, I thought it was my job to protect her and provide for her, right? But if you take biblical out, then it's not my job to protect and provide. You see what I'm saying?
Why? Why
Right?
you think that? The
Well,
Bible
It is.
doesn't.
Well, it is because
The
it's real.
Bible is not what dictates you as a man
I only hear one
providing.
person
Let me
at a
finish.
time.
Let me finish, right? The only way we live by that thought process is because that was the way it was taught to us biblically, right? It wasn't taught to us no other kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
That's not
So let me
true.
give you this
That's
analogy
not
here.
true.
Tell me how we was taught that our job is meant to protect and to provide. Because
Because
right
you're
now,
physically stronger.
listen, I'm reading a book right
Kate, I
now.
got a question.
Because there is this, well, there is a thing called evolution.
But we talking
That's what I'm
about
about to say. Let me give you this analogy here. Because
wait, haven't we all gone to church? Everyone on here has had a foundation and brought up in the church, right?
Yeah.
We've all have a foundation and have been brought up in
Just
church.
because that's a yes, that doesn't
there's a-
mean that that's your only belief system.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I mean, the thoughts of that action. Well,
you learned that
Bible
before.
That had to come from somewhere for it to be such a thing. It just
Because
didn't come out of nowhere.
the Bible is not saying Adam's protecting her. He was a punk anyway.
Women, I think women.
I learned it on the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
But it's always been so.
But listen, time out, OG. In the animal kingdom, though, if you learned it on Animal Kingdom, the lion sit back and the lioness went hunt.
Because
you
he was
right?
So
you feel me? So it depends on what animal you are. I
do what you got to do when it's time for me to show up. I'm showing up. You do
that. And listen, if we gonna go Animal Kingdom, the lion sit back. The ladies went hunt. They bought the food back. He ate first. Then they ate.
Because he needed the substance to protect. He needed the food first to protect. He needed the strength to protect. That has nothing to do with the Bible. It needs about physically fit to be protecting. That's what's that point for the animalistic part. But I don't remember about Adam protecting Eve. He was a punk. If that's the case, he let goddamn the snake get to her and say, "Hey, do this shit." If that's the case,
we are supposed to protect our husband's well-being, our husband's emotional stability. So I do agree with that.
A good wife does. Listen, this is how I learned stuff. My mama told me, your daddy gave me his whole check. So when I got in a relationship, I gave that lady my whole check. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That was taught.
That's what you was taught. That's what you was taught.
Now what she did with the check, we was always misappropriating funds. You know what I'm saying?
We're moving forward in these centuries now. We're trying to do things bigger, better, and smarter. Right?
Yeah.
I was married for 26 years. You was married for how long?
24 here,
24 years. You're still married? Y'all still married?
Not still married. No.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, because I'm not married either. However, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. All I'm saying is there was some things that should have been in place, right? That y'all could have agreed on what I said. If things was in place, things could have been a little bit different, right? Don't y'all agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boundaries, anything. If those things could have been in place.
What do you mean by things wasn't? Oh, you're talking about for the marriage, okay?
Yeah. If things would have been in place, I think a lot of us would have said, okay, our marriage would have lasted longer. Now, thinking about your grandmothers and stuff, marriage, half of the time they knew about other women and still stayed. Right?
Negroes had whole other families around the corner.
Nowadays, women ain't doing that. Men ain't doing that. That's not happening in a relationship.
Speaking of Stefan Diggs,
right?
It ain't new.
So none of that is happening now. So times are moving, but in order for you to have some stability, have some type of knowledge of what a real relationship should look like. I'm gonna ask y'all to be quiet one more time. Hey, what a real relationship should look like. You have to set boundaries. That's in any relationship, work relationship, friendships. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
any relationship. How do you even go about setting your boundaries? Some people don't even know what a boundary is.
They
Yeah.
don't.
Yep.
Yep. They show up at
But
your
you know
house
when a
without saying
person,
that.
right? But you know when a person, oh, you know when a person does you something wrong that you do not like, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's a boundary. And if that person has overstepped that boundary, guess what? Now it's time to say, you know what? I didn't like what you just did. We need to talk about that because I don't want that to happen again. That's setting a boundary. Now you know for somebody else coming into your life for the first time, you need to set that boundary because, hey, I already know this is a boundary for me that I don't like. Stonewalling. A lot of people stonewall.
So
Y'all don't, huh?
No, you rolling. Go ahead, keep going.
no,
You
you
on the
are. Keep
roll.
going.
Yeah.
Stonewalling. Y'all
Yeah.
stonewall. Y'all will not talk about a conversation. Y'all will hear things that's going on and will not talk about a conversation instead of saying, you know what, I can't talk about that right now. It's not a good time for me, or whatever the case may be. Can we talk about this later? Table it. Don't ignore something that's going on constantly and let it keep progressing. Because when you
Mm-hmm.
allow it to progress, what happens is now your spouse doesn't trust you anymore to even come to you with a question, with an answer, with anything. And now y'all have this animosity in between your relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Bird said, read the comments, baby. He need his
I
comments
know
read.
Dr. Bird rolling down there. I've been reading them.
Relationship spell
He
check.
is rolling. He is rolling.
We like
Yeah, he rolling
comparing
down there.
relationships to
I
unique
can't type in the comments.
individual couples. There you go.
Well, it
He's
is
talking
unique. I
about
mean,
boundaries
I
and
was married for 24 years. My wife never had a job. Okay, so 50-50 in our relationship, it was 50-50. I mean, I
But
worked
was
for
it based on finances?
no, no,
Was
no,
your
no, no. I
relationship?
made all the money. She did the other portion of the 50,
So it
which
was based. Okay,
allowed me to do that. She allowed me to work, and she allowed me to work as much as I could because there was no way I could do that without home being taken care of.
and
So
you
she was
allowed
right
her to
back.
stay home, right? And you allowed her to stay home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so that
allowed
was
her
an
to work.
agreement. That was an agreement when y'all got
Yeah.
together. That was y'all agreement when y'all got
It was
together.
our agreement, yes.
Right.
And we lived up to that agreement all the way up to that point. So our 50-50 was different. It wasn't financial, but it was still 50-50.
Right. And everybody's 50-50 is going to look different. It's not going to be the same exact. But the thing about it is even though your 50-50 was based on you doing all the bringing all the finances and her doing all the other homemade or whatever it was, everybody's 50-50 won't look the same. But if you're comfortable with the 50-50 that you're bringing and y'all actually sat down and had that compromisation and said this is what we're going to do and we were okay with it, then that's it. Now, guess what? At times, sometimes it's time to sit down at the table and say we need to adjust it.
That didn't happen. That was the problem. That never happened. So that was the problem.
Yeah, I mean, things can be adjusted. Things are not always in stone, and that's what people fail to realize. You have to be able to come back to the table. And if you're not doing that, you're dooming yourself. You're dooming your own self, personally and couple-wise.
Agree.
And I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, I agree with that too. You gotta come back.
You just
life changes. Everything changes.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing in relationships, Dr. Bird said, boundaries and communication are the keys to any relationship. And some people lack basic communication skills. Like it's impossible to communicate with somebody if you have a higher level of communication than what that person does. So you may think that you are communicating with that person and they hear everything you saying and they understand where you're coming from. In actuality, they're only hearing what keywords of what they actually want to hear and get out that conversation. So you can be expressing to that person, hey, I don't like when you do such and such. And I mean, this has to be a factor because if you tell someone, hey, I didn't like when you slapped me on my hand, this is how that made me feel. I felt abused at that time and this, that, and the other. Some men are incapable of receiving any type of communication like that. They go off on a tangent. They feel like you're attacking their the things that you're saying as a way of attacking the way who they are as a person, when you're actually trying to teach them, and which you shouldn't have to do, but most times, 9 times out of 10, you have to teach people how to treat you, how to love you, and everything else. And some people, I mean, and you should not have to communicate those things, but if you lack communication skills and especially emotional stability, then that's the key factor of being able to communicate effectively. For you to receive things, process them in a healthy manner, and we don't know how to do that, and then communicate and reciprocate what the other person is wanting out of that relationship. So, and that has absolutely nothing to do with an educational level. It has nothing to do with if this person's economical status on how they were brought up. I just think it goes back to, again, where we left, what happened to us in our childhood to make us behave in a certain way. Because a lot of people, what they don't recognize is, if you were traumatized, if you were abused or something at the age of 10 or 11, that's where your mind is stuck at as a 10 or 11-year-old. So your inner child is actually lacking something, and it's hard for some people to be able to communicate those wants and needs because they don't know how to express where this is coming from. Let alone make sure that you're okay. If I'm not okay, I can't make sure you're okay. If I don't know how to articulate that to you.
Now,
So
I do agree. I do agree. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Keisha.
No, I was saying that 9 times out of 10, most relationships fail because we're not on the same, we're not equally, and I think, and I'm going to say this again because this comes from the Bible as well, we're not equally yoked with one another.
There it is. Stephen said it.
And if you're not equally yoked with someone, it is impossible for you to grow together with that person. You can have 1,000 kids with that person. You can't pour something into someone that they lack, that they have no knowledge of how to produce that and reciprocate that back to you.
Now, you said something about teaching a person how to I don't know if you said love you or treat you
And love you.
Yeah.
I think that. People should know how to treat a person anyway.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, you still should have to show somebody how you want to be treated.
I agree with you.
And vice versa.
Everybody. Absolutely.
And people, when you meet that person, they're going to automatically know how to treat you, but you're still going to have to teach them how you like to be treated.
Everybody's standards aren't the same.
Right.
Correct.
So,
but in the beginning, we don't give Cliff Notes. We see exactly.
I do.
Okay, so
I believe she got a whole Bible there. You gonna do this, or you get the hell up out of here?
I'm not gonna give them.
I'm not gonna give them the
Cliff Notes.
And Nikki, I think y'all are teeing up responses to the question I wanted to ask.
All right, Doc.
How often, thinking about y'all's past relationships, how often were you that explicit and clear with your partner, if it was a girlfriend, and then not just y'all two, but everybody, girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, husband, wife, right? Where you were that explicit about your boundaries, your desires, about laying out how we want to be together as a couple, whatever. How often did it happen? If so, how often did it happen? If it didn't happen, when did you get there? Right? Like, because I think we often don't start there in our relationship.
No. I did. My last relationship that I was in recently, I did. And I grilled the shit out this guy, and he was like, oh my God, I've never had nobody to do that. But I like you. And it went from there, literally the conversation, it was a conversation piece. I like people that can basically stimulate my mind. So if you can't stimulate my mind from the beginning, then it's a no-go for me. And that conversation was able to go somewhere, but I grilled the shit out of him the first 5 to 10 minutes I met him. He approached me. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then from
You
there, I was
should.
like, yeah, from there, it was like, I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know this, I need to know that. These are my boundaries. These are my boundaries. And guess what? If I crossed my own boundaries with him, he would come back and tell me,
Wait.
but you're doing things that you told me you don't like. But like me, I don't like people to overtalk me, right? And I would literally do that to him sometimes. And he would
Mm-hmm.
like, if you don't like that, why are you doing it to me?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, I laid all my boundaries down, and it went well. The relationship actually went well. And
You use past tense.
yeah, it's not, it's well,
Hey, we still growing. We all still growing. We all
yeah,
still
yeah,
growing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, it went well. And yeah, I mean, I did utilize my boundaries. However, sometimes, like I said, giving people too much information can kind of run somebody off, but you want to see
Mm-hmm.
exactly where they are first before you start giving them so much about yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want to pull that mask off of them because I don't know if they're wearing one. So I won't give them the cliff notes to who I am first. I need to see exactly who they are and what they're bringing to the table as far as their mindset, all of that type of stuff first, how they treat me before I can say, okay, well, this is what I don't like. This is, and that's where I'm at. Go ahead, Nikki.
I started kind of early because I've been told by an ex, "Are you still demanding?" And I dated him in like teenage years, like 17, 18. So just I guess from environment, my life, where I came from, it has always had me on the level of particular about, hey, up front, this is what I want, this is what I'm given, and either we're going forward or we're not, and a lot of times it starts off as we're going forward because I come across a lot of them to try to see, they'll try to see if I'm really who I say I am, or try to see if they can conquer or make me submit to, or bring me down, to that, to this something that I'm not, but it's nothing major. I'm married, and I've also not been a woman that marriage was the thing. You understand, like the end all be all because of what the European patriarchy has taught us as a culture. Um, Being married and having to have a man and those types of things. But I am married, love my husband. Our relationship works for us. Um, but I've always been, straight up. This is what I want. This is what I need. Either you can give it or I'm happy. I'm happy by myself. And even being married, sometimes I be like, shoot. But you have to adjust.
I asked because I have not always done that in my
Hmm.
relationships. I actually didn't do it. I've been married once. We were married, I don't even know. That's a shame. I was never the one to remember the anniversary. But I was married, got married in my early 30s, divorced a few years ago. I'm 49 now. So y'all do the math for me. But even going into that marriage, I wasn't very upfront or
Hmm.
explicit about my boundaries, my expectations, how I wanted to be in that
Hmm.
relationship. And I never was in any relationship before that. And I recognized that that was my misstep. That was
Hmm.
my error in the relationships. And my, where I took accountability for why things didn't ultimately work. And so, like, at this point in my life, I am moving into a space where I am more communicative about my boundaries, my expectations, my desires,
Mm-hmm.
how I want to be in relationship with that man. Um, and it's a game changer. Like
Mm-hmm.
it
It's
has been
freeing.
a
It's
game
very
changer
freeing.
because that
Mm-hmm.
is what
People
I was
receptive
what I
to it.
realized I was doing. I wasn't holding back or being secretive. So I'm acknowledging Stephen Bird's comment. But what I was I was I get so focused on like giving him the space to express himself, to say what he desires, what he wants, so
Mm-hmm.
that I can be responsive to that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I was not saying what I wanted, needed,
Mm-hmm.
desired. And then when I wasn't getting it, I was like
Resentful.
messed up. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
then it was like,
Mhm.
well, you ain't telling what you didn't tell
Yeah.
him.
I have a question for you, Sam. So, do you feel you catered toward that? How you did based on how society has trained women to be toward marriage and toward men in general because of
Absolutely.
male patriarchy? Yeah. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
the norm.
But
So
but
yeah, it's society, but it was also familial too. Like
Hmm.
just watching in my family, you
Exactly.
know,
That's how it is.
so,
yeah.
you know, my grandmother and grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
my mother and father, my aunts and uncles, right? And just watching who the women were in my family to their husbands, their
Mm-hmm.
partners. And I'm like, oh, that's the way you're supposed to do it.
In
Right.
And
my
playing in
when
the background.
first marriage, well, I say first marriage, my only marriage. When I got with my ex-wife, I was 20 turning 21, right?
Mm.
And I was
Mhm.
everything I was told to be. Like, you know, you growing up and you said a husband's supposed to be this, and this, right? But in none of that, I was told what I was supposed to expect in return, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole marriage was based on me making sure she had what she wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it got to the point later on in the marriage, like pushing to them 40s, and because I poured so much into what she wanted, I felt like a hamster on a wheel, right? We're in the same place, but we ain't went nowhere, right? So then I started verbalizing, like, hey, or I started like finding my manhood and standing on certain things, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
was the demise of the marriage, right? So we went from me giving her the whole paycheck to me saying, why we always late on the mortgage? So I'm not gonna give you the paycheck. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
pay the mortgage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's when the relationship started crumbling because you know the old term robbing Peter to pay Paul. So when
Mm-hmm.
I started peeling back the layers, I started realizing we was behind on everything, right? So
Yeah.
when I give you the mortgage money, you now catching up on the light bill, the car notes, and this and that. So that marriage dissolved because of that.
Yeah. She
So when
wasn't
I
having her
moved to my next
responsibilities.
Right. So when I moved to my next relationship, I decided I was going to be transparent and put my boundaries out there. Right. So in me being transparent and putting my boundaries out there, I have lived a colorful life. I've been in jail. I struggled with addiction in my life, and I learned who Bryson was. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
I put it in the front, like this is who I am. I decided I was going to be transparent. Right. This is who I am. This is my expectations. This is where I'm going. And a funny segue is Dr. Bird was one of my professors when I went to Suno, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming out of a marriage, moving into who Bryson is, explaining who Bryson is. This is what I'm standing for, and this is what I'm not going to go for. This is where I'm trying to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
The individual took my transparency and used it against me,
Recognized
and
it.
we
Yep.
wound up in a relationship, right? But once we was in the relationship, everything she did to get the relationship, it turned to now all of a sudden I'm narcissistic because it's like I want this. I told you I wanted this before we even got in a relationship. This is where I was going. So now I'm forcing, like, I'm not wavering on this is what I want, right? So that was the demise of that relationship. So now at 51, I'm kind of feeling like I don't really think I want a relationship, you know? And that's where I'm at with it right now. Like I have my own place. I make decent money. I'm good. I'm at peace. I go to work, I come home, and I'm okay, right? And I think in my mind, and it might be trauma, right? I'm just gonna say it. I think in my mind that I don't want to be responsible for nobody else at this point in my life. And I'm not just talking about monetarily, I'm talking about emotionally and everything else. You know what I'm
Ain't
saying?
nothing wrong with that.
So now I'm just in this limbo that I'm afraid of as well, because it could turn to like dealing with this one for a little while, because there's other things. I like to take trips. I like to go do things. I don't want to do them by myself. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I've been in this little cocoon and tentatively dating individuals, and I would discredit you in 30 seconds. You know what I'm
Dr. Bird
saying? In 30 seconds, you
said you're gonna find someone evenly yoked. Just take your time, it's gonna show up. Guaranteed. Just take your time.
I joke all the time in this society with social media, the little money I make, right? Which is some decent little money, but still, like most of the women I make more money than me. I don't care
nothing to do with
money than me, right? But it's something about that ego that come behind making more money than me that bothers me. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? I make this, that, and the third. I got 30 degrees. And in my mind, I'm like, my value is way more than monetary, and I don't care how many degrees you have. You know what I'm saying? Right? When you call break, my partner own a mechanic shop, I'm gonna get you to go over there, he's gonna fix it for nothing, right? When your plumbing messed up, I got another partner that's a plumber. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, as soon as I start hearing them kind of conversations about how much money you make and, you know, all the degrees you have, I'm kind of turned off, because it's like, who are you outside of that? Because that's who I'm trying to get to know. You know what I'm saying? Right? Who are you? Not, you know, but who are you, Sam? I know you Dr. Sam, but who are you? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I'm at with it now. I the 50-50 thing, I feel like if you 40 plus, again, 50-50 conversations don't make no sense, because that's not even my generation. We don't talk about money. We just love each other. Oh, that's what you into, right? Oh, you want to go to the opera, girl? Okay, we gonna go to the opera, girl. But guess what? Next week, I like to go to the ratchet spot, right?
And that's still 50-50.
That's 50-50 all day. I'm hanging with my partner.
And
go ahead.
What I found is that I'm seeing a lot of men in their 40s that are emotional unavailable. I see a lot of them that has been going through that. It's not a diagnosis that's standalone, but I see a lot of them that just is going through emotional unavailability. And what that basically just saying is that y'all is you just fed up with a lot of stuff that has transpired in your life, in your relationships, and now you just don't want to put yourself on the line anymore. But the thing, and the fact of the matter is, I get it and I understand it, and y'all not alone, because they have women like that too.
And I'm one of them.
Yeah, they have women. Yeah, they have women that's like that too. But at the end of the day, you know, people start to feel numb. They start to shut down. They start to feel empty. They just don't want to deal with all the craziness in the world. And there's somebody out there for everybody at the end of the day. But you have to be able to understand who you are as a person first, and don't let people take advantage. Because if you're going to allow yourself to set those boundaries, guess what you got to do? You got to always
stand on them.
That's it. There have to be consequences and repercussions for people crossing your boundaries. And if you're constantly allowing people to do that, they're going to do it every time. You just mentioned that you had a relationship and that she had a mask on the whole damn time because you gave her the cliff notes to who you was up front. And then when she got into that relationship with you, she ends up taking that mask off, but she already had you, right? She already had you. So that's what happened. Stop giving people the cliff notes to you so early. See what they're about first. Then you give them a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. You spoon feed them. You don't give them the whole damn cake.
And that's something I had to learn because I
Look,
like
look,
I love hard.
Master True, I wasn't giving them nothing. They like,
right. I mean, you was giving them something.
No,
hold up. No, you was giving them something. You was giving them something. You was giving them something they could feel. At the end of the day, you was giving them something.
I agree with
they
you,
was
Mr.
doubling
Boyd.
back.
Mr.
They was
Bird,
doubling
that's
back.
bad advice. You got to be who you are and just be who you are.
Yeah, they was doubling back. But you just gotta open your mouth up front and just say, look, this is not what I'm gonna tolerate. This is not. I mean, you get it now because now what you're doing is a process of elimination. When you start telling people your boundaries, you already know that this person not gonna stay by. They might not even call you back tomorrow.
So what do you mean about? So what do you mean about spoon feeding, not giving everything at Cliff Notes up front? Like,
so
I'm trying
okay,
to say.
so if I say, okay, it's like, how they say it. I'm not gonna lie to you about who I am. I'm not gonna give you everything that you need to know about who I am. I'm gonna tell you what you need at this particular moment.
That takes too much energy. I feel like it takes a lot of energy to hold back.
It's gonna take energy, but guess what you're trying to do? You're trying to build a relationship. A relationship is a relationship is time. At the end of the day, you can't give everybody everything.
You're absolutely right. And the ones you give everything to, and if it don't work out, they weren't meant for you any damn way. That's how I feel. Because
that is exhausting. That's exhausting.
That's not exhausting to me because
very exhausting because you're giving yourself to any and everybody that's like you a yes man.
No, definitely not. And I'm definitely not a yes man, and I don't deal with any and everybody.
To me, it's like
that means when I do choose, I like to keep my circle a certain way. That's even, family, romantic or whatever, but I only deal with certain people. I deal with one person at a time. When I was dating, that's what I did. And if I'm dating, I'm focused, I'm dealing, and it cuts out the noise for me because I can get rid of you quick if you ain't on the path we need to be on.
All right, well, think about it this way.
Think about it this way. The comment says the energy.
Think about it this way. Say I have your personal computer. We sitting at the coffee shop. I just met you. You give me your personal computer and you give me your password to your computer. Okay. You have everything on this computer. Everything. You give me your personal computer, you give me your password.
But it takes time to get when you're talking about relationships. That's what I'm saying. You're not getting my password today, but you're still getting authentically everything of me. Like, I'm not holding back who I am at all. It's like time as you go down the relationship, that's you earn more trust.
I'm not saying hide anything. I'm not saying hide who you are. I'm not saying hide any of that. All I'm saying is they don't need to know your background. They don't need to know all of that.
But shoot, I asked 50 million questions, so I'm the type of person I want to know all that shit. I want to know all that shit.
But I do it in increments. I do too. I have like an elevator pitch. I have like an elevator pitch that I do up front, right?
I tell people my background because this is
not
actually
that type of background. No, not that type of background.
Okay.
No, that would be something I would say I need to know. But I'm just
I've been told several times, right? After a person get to know me, like if I hold back that I'm a convicted felon, right? Now I'm moving in the realm of dealing with more professional women, right? And so if I don't say it up front, we went on 3 or 4 dates, and then it come out, right? And talk about boundaries, right?
Right.
The lady will be like, "Oh, I don't date convicted felons." You know what I'm saying?
I tell people I have mental issues up front.
You're supposed to.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I tell that up front. I don't care. But I also tell them I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny though?
That's who you are.
Exactly. That's exactly who I am.
People look at who was and not pay attention to who you are, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm telling you, I'm a convicted felon, but I'm also a social worker and an addictions counselor, right? So
Right.
the fact that I'm a social worker and an addictions counselor go clean out the window for some people when it's like
That's crazy though.
but that's
Right.
yeah.
Now my thing is this. Now if
That's
they
crazy.
ask you telling people you're a convicted felon, okay. Now that conversation may go, okay, well, what have you been convicted for? Right? Right?
Right.
I don't never get that. Well, what are your diagnoses?
I would ask you that.
I
Right.
would.
I'm just saying you would.
I would
Okay, y'all
definitely-
would. Right.
Because I need to know.
Right.
I need to know is if you come sleep over, do I need to sleep with one eye
Right.
open?
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Like Bird said, nobody wants to be taken a murder.
You need
I
to
don't
know if
get
they
that.
got some bricks in the car or not. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? I don't get that. You know, you said a convicted felon, and that conversation will go to another step. But I don't get that. You know, people tell me, well, you know what? We all a little crazy.
But you're a woman, though. They're not fearing you. You're a woman. You're just a little crazy. All women crazy. They thinking
But
Exactly.
this I tore up men are, right? We'll be like, but you pretty though. So we don't care you crazy. Like, look, I might ask you, what kind of crazy? Is you bipolar crazy?
See,
or
but
anxiety?
but you in that field,
I'll
so
tie you up with a rope crazy. What kind of crazy?
You know?
The crazy you don't want to find out about. That's always my answer. The kind of
Listen.
crazy you don't ever want to find out about. So
My ex-wife was the kind of crazy we wasn't allowed to have no knives in the house. You understand? We had to take look, I had her cutting ham with butter knives. You understand?
So I'm just saying, you just have to, you know what to say and not to say. You're not about to sit up there and say, okay, I have 3 kids. Their name is Tasha, their name is Monique, their name is this, their daddy name is this, y'all know exactly what y'all should be saying and what not to say. That's what I mean when I say you keep a little bit for yourself. You're not going to give a whole lot of information, but you're going to give somebody enough information to keep your conversation rolling. But you're not going to give everything. That's all I mean by that when I say give what you need.
Yeah.
Right.
And on that note, y'all, it is like almost 10 after 8.
Oh, we going 2 hours.
We've been on here 2 hours. I mean, I ain't got nothing to do, but
so I need to figure out why it's not letting me, because it's not letting me stream at all. It usually allows me to stream to Facebook and Instagram or whatever. It's not letting me stream. It's not even letting me stream to my YouTube. So
YouTube too. All right, well, I'll fix that technical issue. I didn't know that was going on. It's something with the settings. I do know that because nobody else got that message but you. So I don't know why your computer is
maybe because I have StreamYard. I don't know.
Yeah, we might have to figure that out. We're gonna figure that out.
Yeah. So on that note, y'all, thank you to everyone that was in the comments and for the young lady that was trying to contribute to the conversation. I'm gonna get with you, Miss Avanda? Miss Avanda, I'm sure you had great views. You look like a beautiful lady and ready to have some good conversation. So I need to get your email address in order to send you the link. So anyone that wants to like join in on a conversation or get on a conversation, if you put your when you're in the chat, you can send me your email address and I will send you the link. And that way you can participate on a conversation, because I just can't put the link of the StreamYard, in the chat, because everyone is going to see it. And then everyone with a I feel a believe will be trying to get in and give their opinion. And I can only have so many people as guests to come on. So yes, anyone that wants to come on, again, if you want to come in and contribute to the conversation, we'll be back next Wednesday with some juicy conversations, just talking shit, just putting it on the table, giving it what it needs to be. And you're welcome to join the conversation anytime that you want to join the conversation. So next week we'll be back. Wind down Wednesday 6:30. We've been going a little bit longer, y'all, because we've been having some good conversations. And next week I should be drinking again, so I have a glass bottle of wine to introduce to y'all because I miss my wine. Y'all know I like my red wine, so I'll be back in the drinking game again, and I have a different bottle of wine to share with you guys, so you can try it at home. And on that note, love you guys. See you next week. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That's what I want to say. Like and subscribe because I forget to say that all the time. So like and subscribe on my channels on YouTube and Instagram at KPR Productions LLC. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube. So on that note, deuces, good night. And I'll see y'all next week.